There's heaps of jobs you can be doing in the garden this time of the year. And look, I'll tell you what, when you think about it, pruning is not a bad one. Shaping up your plants, well, it's a brilliant idea. And don't forget about feeding. Controlled release fertiliser is very good to apply right now. But there are a few prickly little problems that you need to watch out for. And here's a couple. A bit of a prune is always good this time of the year, and in some areas of Australia, one more prune of your roses will get one last flush before winter dormancy hits. Now when you're pruning, watch out for suckers. Suckers are the rootstock of the rose. Basically, it's there to drive vigorous growth because it's a wild rose and of course it grows wildly. Now if the rootstock does sucker like this, well, it's important that you remove it, but whatever you do, don't go cutting it with your secateurs. You have to make sure you pull it away by hand. A cut is going to stimulate two buds to shoot away next, and eventually the rootstock will get the better of you and overwhelm the plant completely. Then you're going to lose your favourite rose under a sea of thorny wild rose shoots. The real trick here is to watch out for the shoots occurring under the graft. Now it's important you do pull it away from the base so you don't get any new shoots shooting out either side, which is what would happen if you cut them. Now you can tell these wild roses quite easily. You see the leaves are completely different to the top plant, and if you take a look at the thorns, well, they're hooked, designed to really rip in, which is a typical characteristic of wild roses. Now when you take a look at the actual structure of the plant, you might see big strong shoots coming right out of the base of the plant. Now don't worry about those, that's actually a good sign. They're called water shoots, and they're the future frame of the rose, which means it's going to grow really well and present a lot of flowers in coming years. Now there is one problem that occurs this time of the year with passion fruit. You can see this is a Panama red. It's an absolute beauty, a really wonderful vine. The fruit itself is just chock-a-block full of pulp and absolutely delicious. But just down here, there's a problem occurring around the soil with a weed-like plant that really is typically associated with these passion fruit. If we don't do something about it, we're going to have a serious problem. Now this is the rootstock of a passion fruit, and it's suckering up from the roots of the plant as it's moving through the surface of the soil. There's only one way to treat them, and it's to cut them above the soil surface and paint some glyphosate on them. Now this is a systemic herbicide that travels down the stem and kills it and the immediate emerging roots that support the new plant. Now here's a tip if you want to save some money around the house. Get yourself some of these lemon scented geraniums. Geraniums come in a huge range of different scents and fragrances. They are just fantastic because they're so rich in oil. In fact, they're what's used as the base for many deodorizers that we buy to put around the house. So grab yourself this plant, get a few bunches of foliage, stick it in a bathroom, and believe me, it'll smell fantastic.